Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine. So today I've got another Planet Zoo video for you, and this one is the second part of my Nocturnal house. So I started this build already, and if you want to go and see how I made the shell of the building and also my fennec fox enclosure, then go and check out the fennec fox habitat video. I will link it in the video and in the description box below in case you are interested. And in this build I will be adding the Aardvark enclosure to the left of the building and also 3 exhibit enclosures as well. So those exhibit animals are the Scarab Beetle, the Goliath frog and the puff adder. So I mentioned in my last video that I wasn't sure whether any of those animals were nocturnal, and I had a couple of other options from Africa that I was considering, but I did my googling and it turns out that actually I think all of those animals are nocturnal, or at least partially nocturnal. So that was really good. I'm really happy that that actually worked out, because I kind of was nervous that I was going to have to put random non-nocturnal animals in these exhibits. So that is fortunate. And yeah, I was glad that they kind of matched the same sort of biomes as the fennec fox and the aardvarks, because at least the fennec foxes I think are desert animals, and the scarab beetles sort of go with them nicely as well because they came from the same African pack as well. So yeah, it was nice to add those because I'd not seen them before. And I actually very rarely use exhibit animals, I think, because even before I started making YouTube content I never really added them to my game much. I think because you kind of have to make more elaborate builds for them as opposed to quite like a bare bones habitat. So it was nice to get some footage of them just like hanging out in their enclosures as well, just to have a look at some of the cinematic shots and animations. I didn't get too much footage of their animations because they were relatively still in their exhibits. I tried to get as much as I could of them, and yeah, all of that footage is going to be at the end of the video with obviously the cinematic shots of the aardvarks hanging out in their enclosure as well. So if you're interested in seeing some cute aardvark babies especially, then wait until the end of the video, hang around for that, because yeah, there's really cute footage of them and showing how they use their enclosure as well, because I was actually really impressed with how easily they could climb over some of the rocks and the logs that I added in the enclosure. So yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit more later on I think. But yeah, lots of the fencing and vegetation and the indoor decorations as well are quite similar to what I did in the fennec fox enclosure video, and that's obviously because I wanted the style to match that enclosure, because they are obviously within the same building, so they should look relatively similar. Compared to the fennec foxes though, the aardvarks obviously had a much larger interior area because of that round section at the front of the building, and I do my best to create some different cave-like areas for them to hide in, out of the way of the guests. I mean, obviously there is that one-way glass in the main indoor viewing section, but I thought it might still be quite loud there, and the low fences as well at the front of their main outdoor area might stress them out quite a lot. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the aardvarks are shy animals, so I did my best at creating loads of different places for them to go and hide. So for example, I used those big recolorable fake tree objects that I think came from the aquatic pack, and I used them to break up the enclosures both visually and also, yeah, to give them some hidey spots. I also ended up not giving the aardvarks as much room as they needed, which is silly of me considering that I had this same problem with the fennec foxes. I didn't give the fennec foxes enough indoor space, and yeah, I didn't give the aardvarks enough overall space. I did check the size of the enclosure before I started like building within it, and I think the space was big enough. It was just, yeah, when I started placing down all of the rocks and logs, their traversable area was reduced quite a lot, and by the end their traversable area was in the red. So yeah, if you want to download this yourself, then you might need to extend the enclosure just a little bit, and I think it might be quite easy to do without ruining the look and feel of the build. So I would just recommend just moving that back wall of the enclosure, of the outdoor enclosure, just move it back a bit, because that building is actually quite deep. There is a lot of space behind the building that isn't used up within the aardvark enclosure, so there would be room for it. I just think that, yeah, I think the size of the enclosure I made is more realistic, and so I kept it that way because obviously I'm playing in sandbox mode and I have like all of the animal well-being settings turned off. So yeah, it didn't bother me, but but I have now uploaded the entire Nocturnal building to the Steam Workshop for you guys to download, and I will link that in the description box below in case you're interested. But yeah, if you download it for yourself, then you might just want to extend the enclosures out a little bit, unless you're playing in sandbox mode like me, and then maybe it's not necessary. But yeah, even though the rocks and the logs took up a lot of space, they were still able to traverse much more easily over a lot of them than I was expecting them to. So for example, in the indoor viewing area, I put a couple of logs and rocks in the middle. I think I do that a little bit later on. And yeah, I've got a little cinematic shot of one of the Aardvarks climbing up the rocks and sleeping on top of one of the rocks, and I just was not expecting them to be able to go up there. I built it just purely for the visuals and was not expecting them to actually be able to use it or climb on it, because they're not like climbing animals, are they? But yeah, they were able to climb on it and use it, which is really, really good, because yeah, it's always nice when the animals can actually use what you build. It just makes it feel that much more realistic, I guess. So yeah, that was nice. And also, as a correction to something that I mentioned in my Fennec Fox video, someone very kind in the comments told me how to turn on the lights in Planet Zoo during the day, because I didn't know that that was possible. I obviously knew that we had lights, but they are automatically turned off during the day. They're automatically set so that they only come on at night time, and there is like a hidden setting somewhere that basically allows you to turn them on during the day. So yeah, I was able to do that, so thank you, the lovely person who commented and helped me there. But I do still find it annoying because the lighting in the game is so weak, even when it's turned on, that it might as well just not exist. Like, it honestly makes no difference. I turned it on and I had to like question, is it actually turned on? Did I do it? Which is really annoying. I did also try to hide some additional lighting underneath the floor, because I've seen some players do that, where they just sort of drop down these, I don't know what to call it, but like these lights that shine light upwards, and so it makes the room feel brighter. And yeah, just place a load of those in a room, and I did that, but then it created this really weird like greeny orange glow above the building, and it obviously, you know, wasn't looking right. So after I finished building everything, I had to go back and remove all the floors and remove all of the lights because they were all hidden. So I probably should have thought better about how I grouped them, really, but I didn't at the time, so that was very annoying, and I had to redo a lot of the floor. But oh well, just lesson learnt, I guess. So yeah, my build actually turned out being quite dark, even though I put loads of lights in there because I had to delete them all. So oh well. I do think that's a really weird oversight from Planet Zoo, to be honest, because yeah, you honestly might as well not have lights during the day because they make zero difference. I think they are definitely designed to be on only at night time, and maybe even the setting that allows you to turn them on during the day was an addition after the game already came out, I want to say, because maybe that's why I didn't know about it, unless I'm just stupid and just never knew, which is entirely possible. But yeah, I feel like it kind of was a late addition to the game, which feels weird to me. That is definitely a weird thing to not have included originally in the game. Oh yeah, you probably could just see just then, as like the camera raises up, it goes into the orange and green area of what that's what the lights look like before I deleted them. It also infuriates me that we can't change the colour of that enrichment item that looks like an anthill. It just really bugs me that we can't change that colour, because that off-white colour just looks so wrong in this build. It just needs to be something much more warmer, I think, to go with all of the savannah rocks and logs that I've added. But oh well. I also really like this thing that I did where I used those aquatic logs, the recolorable ones. I used one of them to like create a barrier, and then behind it I kind of turned it into a planter, so the log is itself a planter, but like a natural looking one inside the habitat. I'd never done that before, and I thought that was really sweet. I hope you like it too. And yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since the African DLC came out now, so what do you guys think of it and all of the animals that came with it? Do you have a favourite animal? Have you like played with one more than the others? I haven't actually had a chance to see the African penguins much yet at all, which is a shame because I really wanted to check them out. I mean, I've watched other people's videos, but I haven't had them in my game yet at all, and I will add them to this zoo eventually, I think, but I can't see how they would fit in this close to the front of the zoo. I would want want to add them later on in the zoo, I think. Yeah, I don't think that it's the right time to add them to Anami Zoo, so maybe another time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of them down in the comments below, and what you think of all the new build pieces as well. I feel like, again, I haven't been able to use many of the new build pieces because Anami Zoo is definitely a very contemporary modern style as opposed to the decorative North African architectural style that we got with the pack. So we did get a load of useful items with the base game update, and I've been exploring those a lot more, I think, just because they fit in with my style for this zoo a lot more. So I've been really enjoying those and a lot of the fencing items and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a shame I haven't been able to play much with the different aspects of the pack, but I have been really enjoying adding to Anami Zoo. It's been so much fun. I felt so inspired. So I hope you guys have enjoyed what I've been doing recently in my videos. Let me know what you thought of this build and the Fennec Fox enclosure, this just general nocturnal house, down in the comments below. I would love to hear your input. And yeah, don't forget to stick around to the end to watch those cinematic screenshots of the exhibit animals as well as the aardvarks as well, because yeah, like I said, there's some really cute footage of the baby aardvarks. They're so sweet, and I've never really watched the aardvarks for very long before in the game, and they've got some really cute animations where they sort of scratch themselves and where the baby aardvarks run really fast. I think that's adorable. That was so sweet. But yeah, we're basically coming up to the end of the video now, so I'm gonna head off. I hope you enjoyed watching it. As always, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. If you liked this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye guys.